to the Highland Park Spotlight. I'm your host, Keisha B, and I am super excited for today. And I hope that you guys are too. I have somebody special in the studio with me who I absolutely adore, and I'm so excited to have her here in studio with me. And this is her first time, so you know how we do. I got to break them in. I got to bring them in real easy. I got to be I just gotta bring her in kind of softly. So she might have the giggles. She might, smile a whole lot because she a tad bit nervous. So y'all give her some grace. But I absolutely adore this young lady and I'm so excited to interview her. But before I bring her on, so I need y'all to understand, I am super excited, specifically for what God is doing, in my life. And so I wanted to put this out there that I have partnered with a good friend of mine, Jaja Hubbard, and we have established PWA, Parents with an Agenda, and we started our 52-week workshop. When I tell you we hitting on everything from safety, so November is the month of safety, December is family dynamics, January we're going into personal development. So each month is a different topic and we have subjects underneath those topics. But I just wanted to throw this out there to you guys that if you or anybody you know wants to come out to this workshop, now this is the empowerment workshop for the month of November. The topic is safety. It's totally free. We feed everybody. Okay, let me tell you, the food was so good. We had Chef Anthony last week. I don't know who gonna bless y'all this week, but so November 16th from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Is the cyberbullying, school safety, and driving safety. So we have Chief L. Jackson that will be one of the facilitators for school safety. Jaja Hubbard is going to be teaching on cyberbullying, and Chris Crabtree is going to be talking about driving safety. So I am super excited. If you want to register, because we are asking people to register so we know how much food we need to actually have, right? So go to eventbrite.com and you can actually type in Parents with an Agenda and it should populate for you. It'll come right up. Parents with an Agenda, PWA, and you should type in safety right behind it. I'm just letting you know, put safety behind it. So that way those workshops can pull up. All right. So I hope to see you guys out again. This is going to happen every Saturday from 12 to 4. This month we are at Durfee Innovation Center. So you can come check us out at 2470 Collingwood Street in Detroit. We're trying to better our people out here. We need to bring the resources to them directly so that way you guys don't have to search for nothing. I'm trying to make this thing as easy as possible and bring the resources to you. So I know that Durfee is not too far from Highland Park. So if you're here in Highland Park and you want to go, feel free to reach out to me. I help you out with registration, whatever you're trying to do. If you have questions or whatnot, you can reach out to me directly. So don't forget that. But again, I am excited. So let me tell y'all, right? So I met this young lady a while ago through her mom. I'm going to let her talk about who her mom is. But I met her a while ago through her mom, and she has such a beautiful spirit, and she is so awesome and dynamic. And I'm so excited to have her here. And I have Miss Courtney Lotz in the studio with me today. Hey, ma'am.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to be here. Definitely nervous. You already gave the disclaimer, so I'm seconding that. I'm going to second that.
You'll be okay. So I'm happy you're here. So I want to kind of just have a conversation. We're not going to, do too much.
Not too much.
Not too much, all right? But just to kind of ease you in, let's start from the top, because I know that, you here in Highland Park, you grew up here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what can you share as far as your experiences growing up here in Highland Park, and how have they influenced your career path?
Well, that is a very powerful question, especially because it's deeper than just me. So my family, my mom, my grandparents, they were all strong Highland Parkers. My cousins, the only thing that I hate that I didn't get a chance to say is that I graduated from Highland Park High School. Whoop, whoop. So that's the only thing I didn't get to do, but shout out to all my family who have my father actually taught at Highland Park High School, and he's not even from here. He's from Flint. But my mom's
Wow.
side of the family, they're all true Highland Parkers. Went there, graduated, was in the yearbook. So that's the one thing for me growing up, just being able to see the community, the culture of Highland Park. Like, that's what I knew. I knew Highland Park. So now to see things as an adult, I'm like, where is that? You know, it's not the same. I know why they had to tear down Highland Park High School. I know the different things. So I'm just like, it's weird though that I can't go in there anymore and see the different things that I saw as a little kid, being able to just travel not only through the hallways of Highland Park High School, but the different schools. I went to myself, Cortland, which was then Benedict, or Benedict then turned into... Was it? No, I'm getting names mixed up, please, because they changed the names. And then I went to Cortland, and then Cortland is when I left, and then I went to schools in other cities. But Cortland was my last Highland Park school that I personally went to. But my mom, she is a pastor here, so we have a church right here in Highland Park, Faith Tabernacle Church, located on Hamilton and Geneva. Join us Sundays at 10:30 if you would like to come. We are there. The doors are open for the people. So being the fact that I used to be, even with her, she was teaching at Barber, at Henry Ford. I was walking through those halls. Like, these was my stomping grounds. I love Highland Park. I love Highland Park.
That's awesome. So how has it influenced your career path?
It has influenced my career path, I would say, more so because I love the aspect of people. Like, it has always... people has been something that I've loved, and I love community. So actually my very first job, I worked for the community affairs department with the Detroit Tigers. So that was amazing. It was a beautiful experience. I worked with Sam Abrams there and some other amazing people. And just being able to work with the community, with children, that's something I've always enjoyed. So right now, being the fact that I can work in Highland Park, I love that. Just being able to work in the city that I call home, but then working with people directly is something that I have a passion for.
So you mentioned working here in Highland Park. So I know that you are working with the... Ooh, excuse me, that came up at the wrong time. You working with the police department, right? So describe your role. Like, what are you doing with the police department here in Highland Park?
So I am the secretary of our chief of police. So I work with him directly, but I also work with the officers, which I love. And then, of course, whatever else we do with the community, I love as well. Just being able to interact with them from the administrative side, but also working with the people. So that's pretty much, for the most part, what I do. I mean, if people have things going on and they're trying to get to the chief, sometimes they come to me first, then I'll make sure they get to him. And then, of course, being able to just hear when I'm out in the community, different things, and then just being able to have the opportunity to bring that back to them, the officers, whoever, just so we can make the city better.
Okay, look at you working with the chief of police.
I love it.
So you really like it?
Yes, I love. So the thing is, I've always had a passion for law. My grandmother, actually, I will never forget, she knows this. I would watch Criminal Minds with her as a little girl, and I probably should not have, because it wasn't the most age-appropriate show for me to be watching. But I remember watching that as a little girl, and none of the stuff scared me. And I just always had a passion for police, law, and I actually worked with the FBI. So I did a teen academy program that they did, and I did that for a couple of years in a row. And that was my first introduction into law with the FBI,
the
Detroit
FBI
headquarters. Yes.
What you know about the FBI?
I love the FBI. I'm like, okay, I see what y'all got going on in here. So as a teenager, I'm like, I love this. Like, I love the fact that it's portrayed as one thing, but when you're actually in there, you actually get to see more and understand more. Like, these are just people. Like, they're doing a job, of course, nevertheless, but you really can see what's going on when you're in the inside. So I was really glad that I was able to be a part of that FBI Teen Academy when I was younger.
FBI. All right. Hey, y'all, look, don't get in no trouble with her. She got friends, apparently.
I got people that got people that got people.
But that's cool. So how has your connection with Highland Park shaped the way that you approach your role with the police department?
Oh, that's a good question. I think knowing not only how it used to be from growing up myself, but knowing the stories and the things that my parents and my grandparents that they told me and that they shared with me, I think it's just finding ways for us to get back to that. Like, we should know who are the people that's in the community, but then we should also know the people that's supposed to be here to keep us safe. I think we should all know each other. We are one. So why don't we know each other? Why aren't we? But we are. Like, I've noticed that the last year working with them, I'm like, they're doing different events. They're doing different things so they can connect with the community. So I think being able to see that and to know that it's happening, and it's also just showing me that that's what we need to keep going. So any way that I can, I try to push people to get involved when they do things, because you can't say, oh, this, that, and the third isn't going on, but it is. You're just not going to them. Or if you haven't heard about it, all right, let's try to navigate how we can do better, of course, with trying to make sure y'all know about these events and things that they have going on.
Yeah. Because I know that there's that stigma with the police department, you know, not just here in Highland Park, but nationwide, as far as, oh, well, police this and police that.
Yeah.
And people fail to realize that police show up when something happens. Right? So they don't necessarily show up prior to, because we don't call them prior to. We call them and say, this has already happened, so they're coming to figure out what happened.
What's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that narrative, if people, to piggyback off what you said, if people actually knew and there was that community, they would maybe feel more comfortable to reaching out prior to, but, you know, that's not always the case. But I know I've been seeing some things. I've been seeing what Highland Park is trying to do. And I think it's dope. So let's talk the city, right?
Yeah, Highland Park.
Highland Park. So what positive changes have you witnessed in Highland Park over the years?
I would say I noticed more inclusion of all, like, ages, when it comes to, oh, it's not just this age group doing stuff. It's not just that age group doing stuff. Like, people from children to our elderly, I love us all coming together, because I think that's the most important thing. That's why, again, it's not just my story of what I went through in Highland Park, but I'm able to live in, even though I wasn't there, but the experiences that my parents had, that my grandparents had. So I think the inclusion of all ages in whatever space and capacity that we can do, I'm loving that. And then, of course, the development. So being the fact that people can come to Highland Park for things as well. So it's not just us that's here, but let's welcome y'all, come in and see what's going on here. And a lot of people are, you know, doing a lot more things. I know different food places coming up, different, of course, restaurants and places to go and party and have a good time. Like, so it's places to come here to have a good time. Yeah. Of course, we're Highland Park, but even like you said, just thinking about how it's not just us, the bad look that Detroit has, even that they're putting, like, people, I don't like to say people name, but they speaking on Detroit. So how people, we know they speaking on Detroit, we know they speaking on Highland Park. They right through here, they're like, what's going on? But it's actually a lot of stuff going on that I'm seeing the changes. I'm seeing stuff being built up that wasn't here from that time period when I did leave to go to college. So I'm like, okay, I see what y'all doing. I'm excited to keep seeing it happen and to see what more is to come.
Okay. So what do you think are some of the challenges that still remain?
Ooh. Now, you know how they say certain stuff is like, when you say the bad stuff, then it overpowers the good. So it's like, I don't want to do that, but we really do have to do better with looking out for one another. So how I just mentioned the inclusion of different ages and spaces, instead of like, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, let's actually have conversations just so we can help each other. I think that's the part where we have a habit as people of just you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, versus here, let me give you a tip on what might help you so it can get better. Because then if people feel like, oh, I'm just always doing wrong, then it's more harmful than good. So I think we just need to do better with coming together to help each other. I mean, because of the fact that schools and different things are gone, it's a lot of wealth that was taken away. So of course, naturally, I think about finances. Like, that's what we need for the city to run. I mean, that's what any city needs to run. So just really finding ways to bring money back into the city. Yeah, and not letting people come in and just take over. Like, people who are not true Highland Parkers being able to just come in and take over. I think we have to find a way to work together to help each other so we can claim the land before it's gone. So yeah.
So I got a little. I don't want no Highland Parkers to run me down. But I think yes, Highland Parkers definitely need to come together, join together. And to your point, no condemnation, but constructive criticism, right? But because of some of the things that I've been witnessing over the last 3 years that I've been here, it may take for somebody to come in to really help, not necessarily like with money. I'm just gonna be honest, with money that got the bag that can come and spend some dollars, right, to actually rebuild those things that people want to see, because sometimes not everybody have the ability to do it, right? But if now here I am, this is just me, it's just my thought process. I do think that if enough Highland Parkers come together as a collective and purchase properties and do things like that, then they can get somewhere. Because you can't always do things by yourself. And that's the biggest thing that not just people in Highland Park, but everywhere we struggle with. No, mine, I, no, I want this, I want that. And everybody is off doing their own little thing. But if everybody came together as a collective, about maybe 5, 7, 10 people, like, you know what? This is what I want to do. What you think? I want to do this. We all have the same idea. Why not create an LLC? Why not put together y'all resources? Why not buy up the land? And why not build? I'm throwing that out there so somebody can take it.
I hope they pick it up.
So somebody can take it and actually run with it, because it's no longer time to do stuff by yourself. You're going to need people to help build the vision. If it takes a village to raise one child.
A child.
It takes a village to raise a child. We have to be a collective in order to revitalize the community. Look, that's a whole word right there.
Right there.
That's a whole word right there. Listen, I feel like I could preach on that.
Because that's really good. The key is we.
The key is we.
And if more people understood that, that's why I'm like, we need to come together for sure, if we want to see change. So division is holding us back, and it's not just a color thing, of course. Like I said, I love mentioning the ages thing, because I'm like, I can have an idea as a Gen Z, and a millennial can have an idea, and the silent generation, and we can just come together and make something more beautiful than we think. But Gen Z think that they know everything, or millennials think that we don't. So even if y'all think y'all just the best. I'm like, hey,
because we didn't survive through so much as millennials. Okay, listen, we've been through everything from swine flu, Ebola, like COVID-19.
Y'all, geez, I be afraid of y'all. Like, dang, I get it.
Listen, I didn't see. Look, the start of the internet. I remember AOL. Listen, KB on on the house phone while trying to connect to the internet. I done been through it all, okay?
I missed that. So, I missed that little wave. When I just came in, I think my first phone was like a track phone. That's what it was. So I had to push twice for the B, and that was my first phone. So I know that now. I didn't jump in on the iPhone like some of these new kids. These new kids, they
got I came in the phone. The cell phone was that thing it was brick, and it was like it was gray. Yeah, you had to pull the antenna straight out, and it was like you held it like this. That's when I came in. Okay, so
y'all done seen some things.
But no, I love the collective idea of just everyone across generations coming together, because wisdom is the biggest thing. Like. And that's the thing too that I noticed, that a lot of the younger folks don't necessarily sit down with their elders to get the wisdom. They got all the wisdom. Yeah. I mean, stuff that you like, how did you even survive? Like, I'm telling you, I used to say with my grandmother was born October 26, 1927. So just to know and to sit with her and the stuff that she went through as a child in the 30s, it's like, nah, I'm glad I was born when I was born. But we gonna cut to a commercial break. So you are watching the Highland Park Spotlight. Stay right here, okay? Don't go nowhere, and we'll be right back.
This is the Finance Doctor with the Phoenix Group. We specialize in financial problems. If you are dealing with repossession, foreclosure, garnishment, or any financial problem, give us a call at 1-877-446-1664. That number again is 1-877-446-1664 for the help you need. We specialize in financial problems.
Excuse me, do you have anything for paint?
Straight down that aisle.
Thank you.
Young lady, this here's what you need.
Ringmaster?
Ringmaster rubbing oil.
How does it work?
By promoting circulation since 1950. Massage it in for best results.
Ringmaster took care of my back pain.
Ringmaster got rid of my knee pain, too.
Wow, it sounds like I'm late to the party. I'll take one.
Find Ringmaster at CVS, Davis Drugs, and other fine stores.
TV 33 is moving to WHPS TV channel 15.2. Make sure to rescan the channels on your TV. Then go to WHPS channel 15.2 to pick up TV 33 and all of your favorite shows. The move is on, and we want you to move with us to WHPS channel 15.2.
Welcome back to the Highland Park Spotlight. I'm your host, Keisha B, and I am in studio with my girl, my homie, Courtney Lotz, and I am so excited to have her here in studio with me. If you missed the first half, first quarter, kind of a quarter, yeah, but if you missed it, you can catch the replay. it's a good conversation. We done talked about these old school cell phones. We done got way off the course, but you know, it's okay. We gonna bring it back and reel it back in. But I did want to ask you, because I tend to ask everyone who comes onto the show this question, because it's important for everyone to have their voice or their input. So what is your vision for the city of Highland Park in the coming years, especially in terms of like public safety, community relations, events, things like that?
What I see is more open conversations. I see us, we kind of ended, of course, talking about the different generations. And for me, I've realized that that is really key. It's really key to bring in different people. And like, I love having conversations, for example, with my mom, because she doesn't just bring her perspective, she then brings the perspective of her grandmother, so my great grandmother, so even their generation, like when she talks about certain stuff and it can bring up things that they went through. So I think having conversations will then allow us to see why, when it comes to public safety and different things, it is necessary. It truly is. And because of it being necessary now, how can more of our children have a desire to go into fields like this and not just basketball and rap and fashion and being the latest influencer? Like, how can we get them to have a desire to want to go back into these type of jobs again? So I think having more of an understanding would lead to that. Even with community, I think that would be my main answer to that as well. So conversations, because then they can see, just like, of course, what we just seen happen in America, it is possible for us, win or lose, when it comes to certain placements where people are. But that's, of course, on the top scale. But what about locally in our governments? We need people in these places and spaces. They matter as well. But if we don't understand how important that is, if those are conversations that we kind of just put on the back burner, other demographics of people realize how important this is. Why don't we? So
that's good. Look at you. That's a great answer. So what type of developments would you like to see?
Developments, as in like how now people are coming in and
like what would you like to see? Would it be like a movie theater? Like, what are some of the things, like, when in regards to new businesses or new programs, right? Like, what are some of those things you would like to see?
Well, of course, I know the rec does a lot of things. So when I think of development, I love the idea of like how boys and girls clubs used to be when I was growing up. Even it was the one place by my school when I went to St. Benedict that we used to go to after school. I think it was, I forgot what the building was, but it was right over there. And I remember just being able, I'm having a vision right now of myself after school eating Cheeto Puffs. Or they wasn't Cheeto Puffs. They was the off-brand, the Cheeto Puff balls. They was just the balls. I remember eating those, but I just remember having places that I could go. You know, like children need more places like that they could go to, but not only just go to those places to just go, but maybe every other week we have the police come in there, you know, so then they don't have to go and make an event for the kids to come out to. We go to where the kids are. So we go, and that's why I'm like, development wise, just having more spaces like that, even if it's the older young ladies who, all right, they love dance. Let's figure out how can we get some dance studios out here, you know? How can we get, there's different things that they do have that I know people, when I was growing up, that's what they did when they left school. They went to their dance studios and their cheer schools and different stuff, because not everybody has those opportunities at school, because you have schools who, you know, they got a list, so everybody don't make the list. So where do them kids go that don't make the list?
Right.
So that's the first thing that came to mind when I think about development.
Okay. So you speak a lot on youth, right? And truth be told, we need to pour into the youth. to expose them to more things. So in your opinion, how can the city of Highland Park be more engaged with the youth?
First thing that come to mind is meeting them where they are. So I know the police had actually did an event a couple weeks ago where they went to Barber.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember, of course, who actually set it up, but I do know it was something where they were able to go and speak to them there. So I think that's powerful. I mean, I personally, I'm going to just go to my high school experience because high school is an important time. It's not just the youth, of course, it's the older version of youth, right? We think we know everything, but in high school, it wasn't like DPD came up there to talk to us unless somebody was getting in trouble. So when kids was getting in trouble, I seen the police. But other than that, it's not like they had them just come up there just to talk to them to see like, hey, is this something that y'all would be interested in doing? Yeah. Never. So that's why I'm like meeting them where they are is what I think that would help.
So for the city though, how would the city do that? Like, just give me an idea of what you think that
I mean, I
like.
love that idea that when they went up to Barber. So just like
so that was the police department.
That
right?
was the police department.
Okay.
So even again, city officials, I know now, of course, but when I was younger, I didn't understand the importance of the people that were like over the districts, right? Mm-hmm. So I didn't understand why people would want to do that. I really didn't have, I know some stuff is because they have a passion to do it, like a passion to become a lawyer, a passion to be an attorney. But even our judge, right? Like different people who are in different roles. Mm-hmm. I think it would be really nice for us to go and meet the children where they are more often than not.
Okay.
So that's the first thing that came to mind for me. I think that I know you have career fairs and different stuff where they come up in that way, but we shouldn't just wait to this one event once a year to interact with our children. We know technically they have to go to school, right? Or somebody gonna call somebody on the parent. So right. Why not have more things where they can actually, and kids want to skip out of class anyway. Give them an excuse to go ahead and do something fun.
Go into the auditorium.
Right. They love going into the auditorium. So yeah.
Yeah, so okay. You done gave me an idea.
Okay, listen, that's how they happen.
No, for real. That's why I'm asking. So that way, because I'm a little older, I might not look it.
I mean, you know, we love black people.
Okay, listen, whatever. But like for me, like the program like that I do, I know what that 18, kind of like that 21 to 35. I know what they looking for, right?
Yeah.
But it's that younger than that 21 to them babies. I'm like, listen, I don't even know what y'all saying right now. So because they talking abbreviations. I'm like, if you don't, what is the word that you're trying to say? Because I don't know what that is. Like I've had some. Listen,
I love it.
These babies talk in abbreviations. I've never seen it before in my life. And I had one little kid. I was like, boy, what'd you say to me?
Somebody, what did you had to make sure it wasn't nothing crazy.
But it's trying to bridge that gap. And so I'm asking these questions because you work for the city, I work for the city. We can collab and do some things to bring in the youth, right? And I think the idea of going to the schools is important to meet them where they are, like you said, but to create an avenue of which maybe it's like I don't want to call it like a tour of sorts.
I'm so glad you mentioned that because I'm sitting here thinking about how they also, not only did we go to Barber, they came to the department one day. They came to our our headquarters, and it was really nice. I was eavesdropping, but it was really nice just being able to hear the kids ask questions and stuff. So they actually did come out. So I think that would be a great idea as well. Like, let's make it where they can come out and see the different, because why not?
Because they came to City Hall.
That's good.
Recently.
Okay.
But it wasn't, like, the trip to City Hall is cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of them kids wasn't paying attention.
Mm.
Because I walked around with them. Majority of them that was not paying attention. They in their own little world. They was just happy to get out of the school.
I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, they had to put their crown on. But they was like, what up? You know, they talking to their friend. They not paying attention to everything.
Mm.
But if we go to them and we do a tour whether we hit Firebird, Carver, like just go all the way around.
Okay, you saying we go out?
Yeah, we
okay.
go to them.
So yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that sounds like hey.
And you know, but we want to enhance the positives and really draw them in that way with, okay, if you like social media or you like talking, if I saw this post and it made me laugh because it said, if you used to get talked too much on your report card, what do you do now? I used to always have talk too much on my report card. Always. I've been involved in TV and radio for the past 13, 14 years. So now it's like the things that I was getting in trouble for is the very thing that keeps my money going. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
definitely,
it's not always a bad thing that a child is talking too much. It's just you need to cultivate whatever that gift is. Nobody cultivated my gift. I had to go through the cultivating myself. But, you know, I think that tour thing and taking it to where they are and saying, hey, if you always get into trouble for talking, maybe you should look into, you know, doing radio or talking or public speaking or, you know, and piquing their interest based on the things that they might get in trouble for. Oh, you fight too much.
That's good.
Well, why not get into boxing or why not get into football, you know, to be able to release that, whatever, you know, that pent up anger or issue, you know what I'm saying? But also cultivating it in a way where you're not doing it intentionally to hurt somebody. Right. So you're dealing with whatever trauma that is. But, you know, to kind of help them. You are onto something.
Listen, that sounds like
you are
that's
onto
really
something. So I'm gonna be over the next few days.
We gonna have to figure something out. I'm excited. I mean, with me being in school right now, studying human development, anything where I feel like I'm having conversations to help develop more and more our humans.
Yeah. Yeah.
But especially our people, our children, like it excites me for sure.
Yeah. So, I know we're going to cut to another commercial break in a second, but I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to let you ponder on it.
Okay.
And then we're going to cut to commercial. I want you to think about a memorable experience or story that reflects on the strength and resilience of Highland Park. I want you to be able to share with me a memorable experience that reflects the strength and the resilience of Highland Park. Okay. So ponder on that. And when we come back from this commercial break, she's going to give me her answer. Because I need to know. I'm curious. Because everybody has their own experiences. But I'm curious to see what hers is. So you are watching the Highland Park Spotlight. I'm your host, Keisha B. So keep it locked right here. And we'll return right after these commercial breaks. After this commercial break.
Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
This is the Finance Doctor with the Phoenix Group. We specialize in financial problems. If you are dealing with repossession, foreclosure, garnishment, or any financial problem, give us a call at 1-877-446-1664. That number again is 1-877-446-1664 for the help you need. We specialize in financial problems.
Welcome back to the Highland Park Spotlight. I'm your host, Keisha B. And it's been a very interesting show today. I got some new ideas. I'm excited about this new idea. Courtney has literally unlocked the box on me. And so we're going to do some things in the near future. I am super excited about it. But before we went on commercial break, I asked her a question in regards to a story that reflects the strength and resilience of Highland Park. So I know I gave you a moment to kind of ponder on it. I know I probably had you stumped in the beginning, but hopefully, because it is a heavy question to ask, right off the cuff. So I wanted to give you a little time. So what do you think is something that you may have experienced that reflects the strength and resilience of the people here in Highland Park?
So it's a couple of things that I have experienced. I know that when things are going on and it seems like it's a lot of negative things going on, to know that it's still people here helping and encouraging the youth. So I thought about how I was a part of Tanisha Wyndham's program, and I did my sister's keeper, and that was such a beautiful experience. And I was able to get a scholarship, like so many things that helped me when I went on to college. So just even being with her, and then my church, Faith Tabernacle Church, as a child, I'm thinking about, and still now, giving out turkeys, being able to just be there with them as we're giving out these boxes to people. Like, they can come here. Highland Park has resources. We come together. We help one another, because it's not just the turkeys, but it was people donating. So we have additional food to put in these boxes, and just so many different things that I could name. That's why I'm like, it's not just one thing. It's so many different ways that the city of Highland Park and the people here have showed up for me, and I've been able to be there and show up for others in the midst of all of the things that's going on.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So let's talk about your future aspirations. Okay. So what are you most looking forward to in your career? And let me add to it. Do you have any particular goals that you're currently working towards right now?
So yes, I mentioned it a little bit. I'm in school right now and I'm studying human development. So that has been very interesting, to say the least. It has been a lot of learning even for me, because it's talking about, of course, the development from conception, our whole process all the way until death. And just learning even why I show up the way that I show up, the reason why I have a heart for people, who you grow up around, and then of course your community plays a big part of that. So I've always seen my family helping people. I've always seen those around me. Again, even of course they brought up religion. That is a big part of how a human develops, right? So for me, my future aspirations would be to find ways in even spaces like this, again, conversations where we continue to navigate, and those who are in areas where it's minorities or just different areas like that, I want to see flourish. So I'm excited to be a part of different groups where we can help with those developments that we mentioned, being able to come together and build up different spaces for people, just community. I love working with the community. That is something that I see myself doing, whether it's right now how I am with the police or schools. I definitely have a passion for children. That's obvious. And I've always thought to myself, I'm like, well, if you don't do the police, well, maybe we can do psychology. So even the fact right here in Highland Park, now that we're trying to promote mental health and everything, never know, you might have a practice one day. You might see Dr. Lott somewhere. So,
ooh, I like the sound of that.
you know, so unless the husband come one day and the name change, but you know, it might be there. So yeah, I'm definitely going to advocate for our youth, advocate for helping those who usually don't seem like they have a voice, for them to see that they do. And like we both mentioned, talking a lot is what I do best, for sure. But even for those who, again, feel like they couldn't say anything, for them to realize that they do have something to say, so to create that space for them. And those who feel like they talk too much, for them to even learn to how to develop that gift, like you said, how to cultivate that. So all around, just helping develop our people, especially our Black young men and young women, is something that excites me and I look forward to doing.
That's amazing. So let's say people who are watching that is not from the city.
Mm-hmm.
What aspects of Highland Park are you most proud of, right? And what would you like people outside of the city to know about it? Mm-hmm.
That's good. What am I most proud of? That's hard because it's so much. I love Highland Park. I really do. I would say I'm most proud of the people. And to answer the question as far as where we would say like, oh, where could the people to highlight? I think that's hard because, for example, how we have the tree lighting coming up. Like, I remember that as a little girl, being able to go there and just be around the people. So,
yeah,
you know, we got the other tree lightings that's going on, but come out to the Highland Park tree lighting. Like, let's just come together and be around each other. Just knowing that it is people here that actually just wants to have a good time. It's not bad things going on all the time, like stuff is portrayed to be out here. We actually have things where people can come together and have a good time. So I'm really proud to see, of course, how we already mentioned, the resilience of Highland Park, of the people that's showing up, of the young people that are coming together and building these amazing businesses that are coming forth, and the people who've been here for years that are still standing, the churches, which are a safe place again for people to go, the schools that are actually still standing. And I hope that one day we'll keep coming together, allowing people to come in and help us and work together just to keep allowing the city to come back and do what is known to do best. Highland Park, HP, let's go. Come on, y'all.
I thought she was getting ready to throw it to the
HP. Because I was thinking of Howard, because we say HU, you know. So I'm like, HP, you know. Like, that's in my head.
Oh, snap. Howard University?
Yes, so that's where I'm at right now. It's a new online program. So, yes, I didn't even mention the school. So I'm studying human development. It's an online degree completion program, which is the first ever program that they've ever had like this.
Oh, wow.
So I'm the first class, the inaugural class.
Look at you.
I cannot wait to graduate already. But no, it has been a great experience. Again, just learning. I think you have a lot more grace for people when you realize why they more than likely act the way they act. Instead of just harping on, why are you doing this, like the thing that they're doing. Let's take some time to analyze from the perspective of, okay, it's something going on. That's the reason why they're acting like this. It's something going on that's deeper than just the action that we see. So, yeah, it's been a lot just this semester. So I don't graduate until May 2026. So
Hey, listen, we in 25 just about, so you
Almost.
don't have that much longer to go.
Yeah,
so that's good.
Time is flying
good.
by.
It is, because I'm back in school too, girl.
Yeah, we got this.
Listen, I'm like, I don't know why I decided to go back to school, but Lord have mercy.
He gonna help us. If it's anybody listening that knows the Lord, pray. Pray for those adults who decided to continue their education.
Because listen, this online classes is just kicking my behind right now. I got a whole paper due by Sunday.
I got one due at 11:59.
11:59 on Sunday.
11:59
My
p.m.
paper
tonight.
is due 5 to 7 pages, which isn't long, but it's still long enough. Because let me speak life. Life. Jesus,
we're gonna graduate. We're gonna get these degrees, and I want children
Amen.
to see stuff like that. I'm excited for even just children to hear people who are like, "Yeah, go to school." Because nowadays, everybody, of course, we're going to take advantage of the fact that they love social media. So we bring the kids together. Let's get them to make a TikTok. We ask them, which TikTok y'all want to do, as long as it's appropriate. Because some of this stuff is crazy. I'm like, Jake. But yes, I think that meeting them where they are. So let's do a couple TikToks. All right. Now, have you thought about where you want to go to college? You know,
or do a TikTok where everybody is yelling off the college that they want to go to.
That's good. See,
bingo.
See what?
Listen.
Notes. Take notes.
All right. Good. Well, we at the end of the show. Man, this hour went by fast. It went by so fast. So thank you for coming out.
Thank you for
being here with me. It's been amazing to have you on air for the first time.
Yeah.
Guess what? Ha! I did it. She was on my show for her first time.
My first time.
That's super dope. I am super proud of you. From the years that I've known you, you've been just doing it, and I cannot express how awesome you really are. Your spirit is just bomb, and anybody who has the opportunity to work with you would be they would be better for having you there.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. And for those who did not hear me when I said this before.
Yes. Soft plug.
I'm going to
bring the kids out.
Safety workshop. So empowerment workshop. This is my 52-week program. Last week was the first week. We got 51 more weeks to go. So this Saturday, we're teaching on cyberbullying, school safety, and driving safety. We have Chief L. Jackson from what is it? DPSDC or something like that, who's teaching on school safety. Jaja Hubbard, my partner, who is teaching on cyberbullying, and Chris Crabtree, who is teaching on driving safety. And so please come out. It's from 12 to 4 at Durfee Innovation Society, 2470 Collingwood Street in Detroit. You could register online through Eventbrite. So you could go to Eventbrite, type this in, y'all. You can type, camera right there. Yeah. So you can type that in.
Double.
And listen,
support.
Listen, this is free. This is not anything that I'm charging for. We will have food on site. It's a really great experience. This is just an opportunity for you to gain the resources that you need in order to be successful as parents, as children, as aunties, uncles, grandparents. I don't care. If you are dealing with children, please come out, support, learn some information. You have been watching the Highland Park Spotlight. I am your host, Keisha B. It's been a pleasure being on air with you today, and I will see you next time. Again, Courtney, thank you so much for coming out. I absolutely love and adore you, and you guys will see us next time.